And welcome back to Legends of Evil, where I talk about the villains outside of the comic books. And today, we're going to be looking at one of the Stormhawk's villains, and that is none other than Repton, the king of Bogotan himself. Now, Repton is what is known as a raptor. He is essentially a lizard-like humanoid and is the king of his entire Terra. Now, Repton is also known as the King of Rogues, which means he's part of he's also part of a group of Terras that are not aligned with the Sky Council of Atmosia. But yeah, and he didn't want to be aligned to anyone. The only reason he aligned with Cyclonia was because he knew that Cyclonus would tear Bogotan's asshole inside out. So rather than die horribly, probably, Repton did the age-old serve and serve. It's better to be at the devil's side than in her path. Notice how I said her path. So rather than be in the devil's way, he chose to be at the devil's side, so to speak. Now, Repton does have 3 brothers: Spitz, Hork, and Lugi, all of whom are completely idiotic. Now, Repton is also an expert fighter. He's an expert tracker, hunter. Also, he's eaten his opponents. It's not even hinted. It's blatantly shown that he has eaten some of his opponents. Not really I don't know if that counts as cannibalism because he's not really human, but no, he does eat people. He very damn well eats people. His biggest claim to fame, or infamy, shall we say, was when he wiped out the entire squadron of the Interceptors. Well, all but one, Starling. And Starling got her revenge by beating Repton in combat and stealing his ride as well as her shield back. Repton is also an expert warrior. He is incredibly agile, very strong, and while he is intelligent, he's definitely intelligent of the 4 raptors we've seen from Bogotan. He thinks more with let's punch it till it's dead mentality. Is very much like, I'm gonna hit it really hard, and if it gets up again, I'm gonna hit it again. That is his mentality. He thinks more with anger than he does with logic most of the time. In fact, he tried to destroy an entire civilization just because they ruined his vacation by moving there and trying to set up permanent residence. Yeah, he can be that spiteful. Repton can be totally that level of spite. So there's a little, there's a bit about that. Anyway, so where was I going with this? Repton also, his main weapon is a sword that can also work as a boomerang, which is his main weapon, but he's an expert hand-to-hand fighter, as well as he's got claws and fangs that can probably bite through steel. I remember reading somewhere that they were strong enough to tear through steel. He's also capable of climbing on multiple surfaces, multiple different types of surfaces, due to his lizard-like abilities. He's capable of climbing a lot of those different surfaces. Why am I repeating myself? I'm sorry. But Repton is essentially just another cog in the Cyclonian machine. It's very obvious that Cyclonia doesn't give 2 shits about other non-humans, but it was very obvious that Cyclonia did have use of raptors. The raptors' level of brutality, and she probably, since Repton was kind of a leader of rogue Terras, which has always been a headcanon I've been meaning to talk about. There's something for Stormhawk's headcanon. The meaning behind Repton being the king of rogues. So, maybe I'll get into that in another segment of Stormhawk's headcanon. But maybe it was because with Repton's age, she could get all those rogue Terras to side with her, rather than try to conquer them. I mean, she'd easily just conquer them all the same. But there was also the matter that Repton also had the Pterodons, which were scientists that could invent vast array of weaponry. Case in point was Bogotan's sky defenses, which were, at the time, impenetrable, almost said something different, impenetrable, until, the Stormhawks managed to figure out their weapon design and managed to defeat them. But yeah, that was the thing, is that Repton was totally fine with being an isolationist Terra, but thanks to Cyclonus, that kind of changed, essentially. So, there is a bit about Repton. Now, later on in the series, he had multiple different schemes, from trying to destroy the new Terra Blazzaris, because again, that's what you do whenever someone ruins your vacation spot with being refugees. Like you do. Seriously, no, there is no chill, haha, pun intended, with Repton. From also impersonating the Stormhawks to steal the Cheese Stone. And by impersonate, I mean put on whack-ass masks and fooling everyone to thinking they're the Stormhawks. How? That episode is so hard to watch, guys. I'm like, how did anyone not know that was not them? They're wearing paper fucking mache masks! What the actual ass? Seriously. Now, yeah, that episode was really fucking stupid. Let's just be real. Anyway, so, moving on, Repton unfortunately met his demise at the hands of the most unlikely of Sky Knights, Stork. You see, after Repton destroyed the Condor, Stork went completely batshit nuts. And from there, waged a one-man war on Repton and his family. In fact, it's kind of hinted that he killed Spitz, Hork, and Loogie. And that's kind of terrifying. Until he got into a one-on-one fight with Repton, and unfortunately, Repton fell to his demise. Although, keep in mind that he was already on the shit end of the stick with Cyclonus, because she was just, according to her, he was another loose end to tie up. So if it wasn't going to be Stork taking him out, Cyclonus was probably going to do something a hell of a lot worse to him. But, remember, if Star Wars has taught us anything, it's that long falls from certain massive heights that could kill you don't necessarily kill you. So, maybe I'd like to think that Stork didn't kill the three of, his brothers, as well as Repton survived somewhere. That'd be neat. There's a neat thought. Anyway, so there you go, guys. That's pretty much my thoughts on Repton from Stormhawks. And you guys tell me in the comments below, what did you guys think of Repton? And, yeah, did you guys like him as a villain? Did you guys not like him? Personally, for me, he was one of the reasons why I got into it. I was like, oh, a kick-ass lizard man who's also kind of like a predator? That's awesome. Oh, what? And he's voiced by Scott McNeil, the voice of Dinobot? It's actually, like, I should have caught on to that sooner, but, yeah. Anyway, he was one of the reasons why I got in, and he's probably my favorite character from the show. But once again, comment below, let me know what you guys think of Repton, and once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.